Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Hare Manish ji. So, Manish ji, before you came, Ashish was sharing his experiences about the pilgrimage trip to Mathura. So, he was saying that he was really amazed by the bhakti that was there. I think thousands of people go there because there is some importance, I think, during this time. Purushottam Mantha, that's what he was saying.
Purushottam month.
Ashish, you can share it, then maybe we will make that as the topic of today, and then we will start Vedanta from there.
Adhik Mas.
Sure. So, because this is it's holiday, school holiday, so this time we plan. So last year we went to Haridwar, Rishikesh, and this time we planned for Mathura Vrindavan. So for me, it was the first time that I went to Vrindavan, and 5 days we were there. And we were not knowing that during the Purushottam Mass, people do the parikrama of 3 course. There is a 3 course parikrama in Vrindavan, and in Giriraj also, like Govardhan also, there is the one parikrama happening. But we 5 days we were there in Vrindavan only, and all kind of people, multiple religion. Even I could see that South Indians are also there. Maharashtrian also there, because I know the language, so I can understand. They are speaking Kannada, they are speaking Tamil, little bit, because I am dealing with that. So even Gujaratis were there. So they are there, and they are walking. Multiple people are walking, and some people are doing the Satsang and then doing the parikrama. It's a 3 course. 3 course means approximately 11 kilometers. They are doing the Satsang, and I was literally amazed when I saw all these things. Like from where they are getting these energies. And being a human, and they are, if you are doing a Satsang, then definitely you will be tired like anything. People clothes were like dirty, everything. They are, but they are not at all worried. They are just doing their parikrama. They are completing, and one more thing I found out that moreover the people are also there to give them the service. Like multiple people were distributing lassi or food or something. So I understood that if you want to do then God will give you the power, or you reach to that level. So this was really we can say I can say a different kind of an experience to me, and definitely I will recommend everyone to go there. And now Bhaskar sir can unveil what was there, and because normally people worship Krishna Bhagwan, and Vrindavan is the place where people are worshipping Radha ji. So everyone, including child, and they are calling each other not by their name, they are calling Radhe. So even if you go to auto rickshaw, they will call you Radhe where you want to go. If they are talking to another auto person, they will call Radhe Jayogi. So even everyone is calling themselves as Radhe or so that's really amazing, sir. Really amazing. Now everyone if anyone has any other experience in Vrindavan, they can say. Otherwise, this is what my experience, and I really recommend everyone to go and experience this.
So what I'll do is I'll pick up a couple of Vedanta points from this which I want to share. After that, all others can also share about their experience or their views about this. So first thing what I see is that I'll pick up the first thing what the latest thing what you are saying about people worshipping Krishna as Radhe itself. So this only shows Aikya Bhava. So to an extent that Radha and Krishna are one, as Bhakta we see that actually, but one has to understand that Radha is Jivatma and Krishna is Paramatma, and if that is a depiction of Jiva Ishvara Aikya, then that has to be understood that way actually. So basically we have been all this while we have been talking about a Jiva and a Parama. right? That Nitya Vastu and Jiva, the inquirer. So we've been always talking about it, and we have been talking about the Aikya all the time. So when we understand Aikya, performing a puja about Parama and performing a puja about Atma, they are one and the same. So here there is a depiction. Either you worship Krishna or you worship Radhe. It is one and the same actually. So if you ask me, it's more like Aikya. So this Aikya part comes everywhere, and that's the best kind of example of Aikya actually, where we call one of the Jiva as Jiva which is there as Parama itself actually, when we take Krishna to be that Nirguna Brahma, that level actually, if you say. This is one. And another thing, Ashish was really wondering, I think they were doing kind of parikrama which was more like a Shashtanga Namaskar, maybe so many times.
So they will do.
They do that. So I was asking, he was saying, I was amazed as to, where from they get this kind of an energy. So one thing is very clear. When one is into bhakti, I think that's a different energy altogether. In a way, Manomaya and Vijnanamaya both are involved in bhakti. So they are involved in bhakti, Buddhe both, and of course this Jiva, which includes the mix of consciousness, that's all the time there. That's why things are working actually. So Manomaya is the place where bhakti is. Vijnanamaya is the one which is lending credence to that, because bhakti is good. That's the reason, that Vijnanamaya, that particular Jiva, has probably more sattva guna. That's the reason it is, even lending itself to bhakti. But once having obtained that energy, both the tamas side of Manomaya, little bit of rajas side of Manomaya, and the tamas side of Annamaya and rajas side of Annamaya, they get completely subdued actually. So that's where one is able to pierce a spear, veil we call it in Shula, whatever you can call it. So into their either tongue or whatever it is, they are able to do many things which otherwise is not something which can be forbearable by other people actually. It cannot be bearable by other people who are not into similar kind of a bhakti. They may be bearing that for many other reasons, that's possible, but they may not be able to bear it this way without that bhakti in place actually. So basically, when a person elevates into a different level, then body and mind also to a larger extent becomes subservient actually to that idea. That idea becomes much more important actually. So this is just a depiction of difference between different stages actually. If a person is in a particular stage, he's in a particular stage actually where a lot of other things which are maybe low and high is all a mental idea, you can say. You can say that a lower idea, a lower pursuit becomes immaterial, and someone who's observing will see that person as someone great and being able to perform the impossible. But for the person who is doing that, for him there is nothing called possible or impossible. He is just doing what he is doing, and he is at that level. That's it. That's the only thing. It's just relative. So definitely it's important to understand that when sattva takes over, basically, see, bhakti needs sattva a lot, and it will definitely have the mix of rajas also, because rajas is required for that kind of a physical activity and also mental activity. Bhakti is required. You need rajas also, and from there, I think what we are saying is getting into even more pure sattva. That's where matter converting into energy, and then you more remain at a conceptual level. So that is one thing. So the Aikya part and this subservience of Manomaya and Annamaya to a larger cause is kind of very visible there. So that's what I wanted to share. Maybe others can share something else if you feel either connection with bhakti or connection with jnana, anything.
So I would like to just express one thing here. There, like, I have been long back, I have been there, I have done that Giriraji Parikrama. When you say that everybody says Radhe, because there there is also that in Vrindavan, it is, and the village of Radha was near to Vrindavan. It was Vrindavan was being Krishna, and there is also a fight between these two villages. To for the reason Radha is was bigger and Krishna was bigger. And second thing is that Radha is considered as Anadi Shakti of Krishna.
Okay.
The Shakti of Krishna is Radha. So that's why people worship Radha Krishna as one.
Okay.
I also went to, few months back, I went to Coimbatore. And Coimbatore, I went to Sadhguru Ashram and saw that light show. There also what I saw was that related to this, the depiction of Ardhanareshwar was so beautiful. And I was like, to anybody who gets a chance to see that light show, I think it is better than the light show which happens in Singapore.
Oh, I see.
It is so amazing. It's a half an hour light show, and so it was very, very good. So there also, when you look at that, the Shakti and Shiv, and the entire depiction of Shakti and Shiv and Ardhanareshwar was so beautifully presented that it makes you realize that they are one. It is just that to us we are seeing it differently, but actually they are one. They are so similarly. Radha Krishna seems to us, maybe as you said, sir, it seems, but they are one. It's a one power,
Exactly.
one.
Exactly. So Aikya, I think, is what is depicted all the way. One personal experience I can share about Krishna, because we are on the topic of Krishna. So when I was writing many songs on Krishna, Lord Krishna, so one of those days this song just came up in 5 minutes. So first I wrote it in Tamil, and then I also wrote it maybe later, maybe some couple of days or so, or maybe a couple of months later, maybe in Hindi also. So here you will see the concept of again it's always Vedanta which we focus. So the concept of Chitta Shuddhi and Aikya, both, and also the beauty of Bhakti. So all these are brought in this song. I'll just narrate. I'll just see if I'm able to remember and produce this, and then I'll explain that song also. It's the same pattern actually, Chitta Shuddhi and Aikya, and it also talks about Bhakti, the beauty of Bhakti. सोचते ही आ जाएगा रे, सोच भी तुम ही हो, सोचते ही आ जाएगा रे, सोच भी तुम ही हो, कान्हा 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 कान्हा, स्थापित करने पर हृदय में तुम्हें, धड़कन की जति पर नाचते हो, जतिये कोप से बिगड़ेगा, जप से शांति फिर लौटेगा, सोचते ही आ जाएगा रे, सोच भी तुम ही हो, माथे पे गोपी चंदन भी तुम, बांसुर की संगीत सुर भी तुम, भीतर मुझ में जो IQ है, बाहर लाकर गले लगाना है, सोचते ही आ जाएगा रे, सोच भी तुम ही हो. This is how the song goes. So if at all there is something like Akshay Patra, you keep taking out, it keeps coming, right? That Akshaya, if you see, you can see it in thought itself. Have one thought, try removing that thought, you will have one more. Try removing that thought, you will have another more. You will keep on having it. If at all there is an Akshay Patra, it is just mind and thought, straight away. Okay. Now, when you have Krishna thought, so you think of him and he would be there. How? The thought is him only, no? If the thought is him, at a thought he will be there. Simple as this. Because thought is him only. Soch bhi tum hi ho. That's how the moment I think Krishna will be for me. Because thought is him only. Sarvam khalvidam brahmasi. So that's something one has to understand. Right? And of course, the moment, when the way I'm writing is that the moment, I take him into my heart from a bhakti perspective, he starts creating, great feelings in me. So, dhadkane ki jati par nachte ho. So, the heartbeat is basically him only. And this is a laya, the rhythm. So, rhythm, if you say, it can be good, it can be bad, both ways kind of. That way, I'm mentioning that through sadhana, when we overcome ragadvesha, so basically anger I am mentioning as more on the spell of ragadvesha. If you are under the spell of ragadvesha, that laya, it will get disturbed. And if we can control ragadvesha through chitta shuddhi, then that laya will be peaceful. That peace will come back. So that's more to do with the preparation of mind. The next verse is say that, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahmasi. Tum Ate ke Gopi Chandani Bitum, Basuri ke Sangeeta Surbitum. Whatever, any aspect you take is him only. It's just him only. Simple as this. And exactly including Radha as himself. And Krishna is Radha only. So that way. And then we say, though, as an Advaiti, we understand our Aikya with Krishna. Though, for example, you see from the angle of Arjuna. So, when Lord Krishna teaches him Bhagavad Gita, he is basically teaching the entire Vedanta, wherein he tells him, saying that, boss, you, me, and all these people, we have been always there, and there will never be a time when we will not be there. Right now, we are all Param. We are all Param. So he says that, basically he includes himself in all this scheme of things, and he includes others also in the same scheme of things. He shows that oneness actually there. So, from that angle, obviously Arjuna was one with Krishna, kind of, if you ask me. That should be the outcome of Bhagavad Gita. And still, of course, from a transaction perspective, the next day it doesn't mean that I stop going to office. I can still go to office. That's what happened actually. After Bhagavad Gita, he said, Tasmat Yuddhasva Bharata. Tasmat Yuddhasva Bharata. Anyway, from a transaction perspective, if there is an electron, it has to move, move, boss. That is how dharma is actually. Keep working, no problem. But understand, none of this affect you. You don't get affected by any of these things. So that Aikya is done, but after the transaction keeps continuing. Now, the last one I'm mentioning that though I know I'm you, or you are me, but I'm just mentioning that because Maya has its own beauty, so that I can always write as a song, right? That's how my song is Maya only. Any sound is Maya only. So I'm mentioning there that I want to bring you out, decouple. I am coupled with you, not even coupled, I am one with you. But I want to kind of create that distance, decouple, and embrace you. I want to have a conversation with you. That's something also I've written in another song. So that's how I brought out that in that. So bhakti is something amazing. It will make you write so many songs. It will make you do so many things. And of course, it will make you give so many pravachan also. That's possible. Bhakti is something amazing. The only thing is, transactionally we can use bhakti as, as just whatever it is. It's an intoxication, you can say. It's a different level of intoxication. And you can always enjoy it because Annamaya and Pranamaya, they are there for giving that pleasure. Bhakti is inside, you have that pleasure. There's no doubt about it. You can always have it. But bhakti in the expectation of something to happen later, which normally is not in bhakti, you are almost one, you can say. Almost there is an aikya, you can say. But the idea of a second thought may not be that great all the time. But the idea of aikya and then bhakti is beautiful to have actually. That's where it's an amazing thing to have. So aikya, again coming back to Vedanta, aikya is important. One has to just achieve that. After that, everything, there is nothing called after that actually, but still, from a transaction perspective, every possibility is the same possibility. So that's how it works. That's what I want to share about this particular stuff. Anyone else also can share, their views. Yes, Sonia, go ahead.
Bhaskar ji, I was saying that, it just was a point of sharing. Nothing, I just, Hanji. I have started with Bhakti Yoga, as I told you, in Bhagavad Gita. And with all my excitement, I wanted to read it because, as you know, I have started with Bhakti only. I'm blessed with Bhakti. So that's how I got onto this path. So I was all excited to read that. What is that? What is that? Shankaracharya or Swamiji, Adi Shankaracharya Swamiji will be saying about Bhakti in this chapter, because ultimately what I am reading is Bhashya by Adi Shankaracharya, which Swamiji is am I right? Right? Swamiji is explaining what Bhashya is written by Shankaracharya.
Correct.
And Adi Shankaracharya is a Vedanti. He is a Brahmagyani, and he talks with that perspective. So I started that. Probably he'll talk about some Dvait and then explain. But beautifully, what Swamiji has explained and Adi Shankaracharya has explained is what so far where I am. They are saying that Arjun started this chapter with a question that what is superior?
Okay.
Whether it is Karma Yoga or it is Sannyas Yoga.
Okay.
What is better? Renunciation is better or doing this? And this is a question which we all start in every stage in different words. कि अगर ये आ ही गया है तो फिर अब मैं नौकरी क्यों करूं? अब अगर ये आ गया है तो मुझे गुस्सा नहीं आना चाहिए. Those things. We all ask the same questions. We all do that. So the words are different. That whether the sannyas is better or karma yoga is better. Now in this, Krishna has explained. This is Bhakti Yoga. The chapter is. So what is it? Krishna is saying to him that the karma yogis with upasana to me are yoga uttam. मतलब उन्होंने बोला कि वो उत्तम है. कर्म योगी with upasana in me. मेरी भक्ति जो करता है और कर्म योग करता है. क्यों? क्योंकि उन्होंने बोला कि जो संन्यास्त है वो तो ऑब्जेक्टिव है, उससे तो कंपैरिजन ही नहीं है. इट इज समथिंग लाइक ही इज इवन नरेटिंग अ स्टोरी इन दैट. इट इज समथिंग लाइक कि एक बार राजा अकबर के उसमें अकबर ने पूछा कि इंडिया में सबसे महान नदी कौन सी है. तो सबने बोला गंगा जी. एंड बट बीरबल वाज क्वाइट. सो ही आस्क्ड दैट व्हाई आर यू क्वाइट? बिकॉज़ ही सेड नो, यमुना इज द वन व्हिच इज सबसे महान नदी. तो सबने बोला ऐसे कैसे, गंगा जी ही सबसे महान है. तो उन्होंने बोला अरे गंगा नदी नहीं है. You are talking comparison is amongst the nadis, rivers. So Yamuna, Ganga is not river. Ganga is ultimate. Where everybody has to reach. So it's like sannyas. He's saying that being sannyastha, rather than using the word sannyas, I like the word sannyastha, because he's saying that sannyas is ultimate where we have to. Because sannyas is something where we know there is akya. Where you are not, we know where it is akya. Where you not become, you are God. You know that ignorance drops. So that is ultimate. So there is no comparison. Now you are comparing among different other things. So I am saying karma yoga with upasana to me, with bhakti to me, is the ultimate thing to do. So, but again I was thinking over it. I have underlined the pages also for that. I was saying, if we look at Arjun is like us. He is still not understanding the difference between sannyas and sannyastha. हम जब संन्यास बोलते हैं, हम में से किसी को भी हम संन्यास बोलते हैं, तो उनका मतलब होता है renunciation of house, wearing of her clothes, having some do's and don'ts. We think that is sannyas. And then we ask that, is this better or the karma yoga is better, where I am doing my duties with Ishwar Arpanam Buddhi, Prasada Buddhi, and is this better? Arjun is asking still there only. He is not asking about sannyas. He is comparing it with sannyas. This is my, my cogitation over it thereafter. Okay. That what Krishna is saying is, he's saying sannyas is the objective. He's not saying that renouncing house or family or wearing ochre clothes. He's saying sannyas is when ignorance drops.
Yes.
Now, yes. If I do it by renouncing my house, by following certain rules, that is also karma yoga only.
Yeah.
Because I have still not dropped.
Actually.
So if when Buddha left his home, renounced his family and his rajya, he was still a karma yogi only. He was doing it with I'm hoping, with Ishwar Arpanam Buddhi, even though he doesn't believe in that. But Vishwa Arpanam Buddhi and Prasad Buddhi, till the time he realized ignorance dropped. So wearing ochre clothes or renouncing the house, that also is a karma yoga only. It is just that with what kind of vritti I am born, that I would like to have this way of karma, or I would like to be a CEO, or I would like to be, be Modi ji, or I would like to be a mason, whatever. So, that's my prarabdha, my karma, whatever. So that's how he is explaining. But I was still very much hoping into, that, he will talk about Krishna and Rama and Shiva and then explain it to us. But it's still not there.
Nice. Nice one.
So, can I add something?
Yeah, please, Manishji.
And I think what Sonia ji is saying is correct, because the Karma Yoga is the path to reaching, I would say, the higher realms of bhakti, jnana and bhakti. Because as Bhaskar sir said, that you need to be your sattva gun has to, when you have bhakti, your sattva gun will be prominent. And to bring that sattva gun or make that sattva gun prominent is something which will happen through vihit karma of karma yoga. That when you do things which are done without any without asking for anything, or without
Nishkama karma. Nishkamya karma.
Then you will, you're mentally, or maybe at a level of as a human being, you will reach to a level where which will be easier for you to go to Jnana Yoga and then Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga in that way is ultimate. Then you don't see the ultimate aim of ultimately Bhakti Yoga. Then you will not even see a difference between you and God. You will say that I am a part of that same. You will start understanding Param Brahman, and you being the part of that. And that is where I see that I am also studying Karma Yoga. The entire Karma Yoga thing is that how do you go to the next levels of Jnana Yoga and finally to Bhakti Yoga. So it is all about how you will increase your sattva guna. Yes, rajas will still be there, but sattva gun should become prominent. And so that is what I like, very important, I think, topic which Sonia ji touched, okay, that it is.
Nice. So I just want to share some of these thoughts which I had in some context, but it's very useful. One is, so mind can, manomaya, normally, it doesn't care about annamaya and pranamaya. So one example is, see, it all depends how it derives pleasure. Manomaya has its own way of deriving pleasure, but if it's fixed to something, it will not worry about the health of body or health of that breathing aspect, for example. One is, though buddhi will know that using sedative substances may not be good for the body, but buddhi knows, but then mind will not allow that. Actually, it will still steer it towards using it, and it won't care about the ill effects on the body, though it knows it is its own kind of body. But then it tries to stand out as a separate being, and it can even let the body suffer for its own benefit, the way it derives. So that is, it doesn't care about annamaya. So that's how it can take an injection with a wrong substance, though there is pain involved, it doesn't care. For example, even a simple example I can give is, one can have a tattoo. These days people have tattoo throughout the body, barely you can find out a real part of the body actually, the real color of the body. So people are totally green. So this is also something we can see as mostly with cricketers and other sportsmen. That's how it is these days. So mind, the tattooing process involves pain, but mind just wants that, simple as it doesn't care about what body is undergoing. It just wants what it wants. So it shows very clearly mind is the driver actually, if you see. Unfortunately, buddhi has to be the driver, but mind is the mind feels karta bhokta. That's how it will drive. It will not go by the standards which are embedded in buddhi. It will try to do what it wants at that particular point in time. That is where tamas is very high and rajas is very high, sattva is very low. That's the statement, status in which this happens. Similarly, pranamaya also, it doesn't care. Like smoking is injurious to health. It is written on the packet itself when one buys it actually. I think they will just try to not even look at that or glance, or they become used to that particular caution in any case. It is like, no one worries about the pack actually. People are worried about the smoke, that is more important in that actually. So no one worries about the color of cigarette also maybe. So that's how it works. But again, it knows that for respiratory organ, which is more to do with pranamaya, it is not helpful at all. It's very well known, but it doesn't care. It derives a pleasure out of it. The body mind sense complex derives a pleasure out of it. That's where mind is involved, because at the level of mind, the pleasure is to the mind actually. He is the bhokta, karta and bhokta. So he has to do what he wants to enjoy, right? So he will do what he wants to enjoy. So that's where one has to understand mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha moksha yoho. It is a mind only which should be called for counseling. And it is the same mind only which has to be introduced into this habit also. So mana eva, this example you can see, mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha moksha yoho is very kind of easy from this example. So that's something I wanted to share. And another thing is, in terms of chitta shuddhi, like between shama and dhamma, there's always a discussion between shama and dhamma, which grade, how do we progress. For example, if someone does something to us, either an omission or commission by someone else towards us, by others towards us. Like we go to someone's place, they don't even offer water and they just don't care about us. So that's a hurt. So this hurt remains. So one way to take it is to have a grudge, call them to our house, not give water. This is the way, this is the adama way of handling it. Uttama, madhyama, adama way of handling it is this actually. Tamasic way of handling it. So other way of handling it would be to understand, okay, what the other person was going through. Maybe there was some issue, that's the reason that person was in that disposition. Maybe they forgot to offer. That's also another way of looking at it. So this is to do with more sattva. So that is how sattva will try to analyze that and work on it actually. So here, dhamma wise, one of the things is that, okay, don't abuse them is dhamma. So don't throw yourself in anger and say that, how can you even do that? You called me all the way, I've come here respecting you and you are doing this. So this one way, you can just shouting so that, that mind can get its own perceived respect as much, but then it loses even more respect during the process. That's a different thing. So that can happen. So that is somewhere dhamma is involved, where you can say that, don't shout, keep quiet. So that is one way of looking at it. But in the case of shama, that's where the sattva part comes in, wherein you can understand, okay, what's going on in their person's mind. So you can even analyze a little bit more. That's where that space required is even more actually. So over a period of time, when you analyze, that person actually, and then that, okay, when the other person does also, you don't get any problem actually, because TK wo tendency hai, forget it. This we do with most of our family members, friends. ये वैसे ही है, is something he just brand actually, हाँ ठीक है ये वैसे ही, don't worry about it. So over a period of time, that comes in. Also, if one asks, saying, okay, I want to still keep the grudge, but I will use at the dhamma level, is it helpful? There I am trying to, why shama is required? So that's more important. You can use dhamma to start with, but then over a period shama is required actually in sadhana. So one example what I saw is that, see, on the mobile, when you open applications, it drains out the battery. Okay, so in the case of shama, you don't leave them open. But in the case of dhamma, what's happening? You stop physical activity, but background it keeps running. The guilt is held, not the guilt, the grudge is held at the background actually. It is there in the mind. It is just not fructifying because the event has not come yet. Because you want to invite them to our house, no, to disrespect them. That has not happened. So grudge still there. all that you did is no, okay, fine, let me not abuse in their house. So you withheld, but unfortunately somewhere it will be waiting for a proper time to express itself. So it is like a background application which is still running. So background application in the context of mobile, it drains battery, it drains energy. We need energy for pursuing vichara, our moksha sadhana. If that energy is already eaten away by this grudge as a background running application, it's not of any use, right? So sadhana, in terms of its utility, involves closing down all these background applications which we don't even know which are the applications we've opened. Thousands of applications we've opened actually. This is where vasana is. These are all vasanas. You have to just close all these vasanas actually. And vasana kshaya is very important. That's where we say mamopatta samasta durita kshaya dvara. To close down all the background applications, I'm doing this. Background applications are very important actually to be closed. Otherwise they drain on our energy. And if they eat on our energy, if a tree is growing and you have a weed which is, kind of, not weed, what do you call it? A parasite, which is just dependent on that. And it will just suck all the energy what the tree is taking from its roots. This thing will keep growing. It will not allow the tree to grow. It will inhibit the growth of tree. So all these vasanas, all this what you can say, durita, which is not helpful to us, they are all stumbling block actually. These have to be nullified, annulled actually. And that's where I think closing the background application through sadhana is a very important thing. I thought I'll just share this in this way in an example. But Sonia, actually after we discussed there's between Shama and Dama, so I was discussing with Ramya just after that walk. Actually I was discussing with Ramya on the same day during morning walk. And that's how I came up with this example. Later I wanted to share it with you. I forgot. That's the reason I thought I'll share it now.
It's a beautiful example. Apps running in the background. I can totally correlate.
Close all the apps running in the background. Say Manishi. Manishi, you wanted to say something?
No, I was only saying that closing these applications, the backdrop applications, all these applications, this is where the path to bhakti yoga.
Yeah, of course, yes.
This is bhakti.
Yeah.
This is how you will reach to that level that there is no grudges. Because there is another way of handling this grudge. You disrespect him or you respect him so much that he himself realizes that he has not done something which was odd. So it could be that two ways of looking at it. But I feel that yes, all these applications which are running in backdrop, this is closing them is what the path of bhakti yoga.
Yeah.
Now you don't have any grudge against anything.
See, in the case of bhakti, what is happening is the person is away from the mobile itself. Forget the background application.
Mind.
He's not even using the mobile actually. He's just away from the mobile. So he's just with Lord only. He doesn't care about the mobile also actually. So that's bhakti takes you to a different level actually. Okay. This is for a person who's still stuck with the mobile. That's when background applications keep affecting. So the only way to do is, either if you can identify the vasanas, you can open each application and then swipe, go off. You can say that. Unfortunately, vasanas, we don't know how many janmas and what all vasanas. We can't even identify them. So what we say, Lord, please take care. Mamopatta samasta durita kshayadvara Shri Parameshwara Pritiptyam Pratasandyam Upasishye. So in this what happens? Switch on, switch off is the simple idea. Switch off, restart, all apps closed. So that's what Lord does actually. So the easiest path is ask for grace. Boss, I don't care yaar, kahan pe hai? I've been told that I have to get rid of this. Help me. That's it. Help me. So when you say help me, automatically your resolve to close the apps is very clear. Your resolve to proceed in the journey is very clear. So this itself is a kind of blessing. And then obviously when you seek help, the help will happen, and then automatically your the forces which drain your energy are taken out, and the force can be used for the rightful purpose of getting out of samsara. Understanding samsara is oneself. That's it.
Or there is also one way that go to a level where you are using that old type of mobile where there is no apps.
Nice. That's all.
No possibility of any app.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So because I think we keep on, at times we keep on thinking about things which are not even there.
Yeah. Mind has that ability. So creative it is.
So our 90% of our thoughts are imaginations.
I know.
Yes.
And Bhaskar, I would like to again, share the personal experience also here.
Yeah.
Like when you said about bhakti, that person is not having mobile only, so wonderful thing. Now what happens? Like with me, it has always been like this. Whenever anything, be it ये किसी से लड़ाई हो जाना ऑफिस में घर में generally you get troubled with this only. People trouble you. You think that people are troubling you. So you have this, and then all the thoughts are coming in. You're thinking all of the ways of either taking revenge or getting back to them or whatever. Now I realize that as you're saying that when it is now you take care of it. अभी मुझे कोई वो नहीं है.
Yeah.
I have from the very early stages I've realized कि जब भी लाइफ में कुछ ऐसा हुआ, किसी भी तरह का इशू हुआ, which जैसे वो द्रौपदी की तरह आप हर तरह से हेल्प मांगते हो, फिर अपनी साड़ी खुद पकड़ते हो, वो सब होता है लास्ट में. यू गिव अप कि भाई you handle, I'm not able to handle it, whatever ways, whether any kind of issue. So I have realized that he's always there. I'm talking about the Lord.
Yeah.
He's always there. वो इशू जो होता है सिर्फ बाहर का इशू नहीं. मैं ये इशू नहीं कह रही हूँ कि कोई फाइनेंशियल या एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव या हेल्थ इशू. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस जो अंदर का द्वंद होता है. जब कोई एडवर्स सिचुएशन होती है एंड देयर इज एन अंतर द्वंद, जब आप खुद स्ट्रगल कर रहे हो तो दैट गेट्स रिजॉल्व्ड इन द वे दैट वो ऐप बंद हो जाता है.
अग्री.
अभी क्या होता है वो बंद हो गया, मैटर रिजॉल्व गया, लेकिन दोबारा some situation comes again, the app is on. So again, it is like issue arpanam ki bhai you take care of it. I'm just sitting. My tokri is also with you. I'm also on your ratha, and my tokri is also on your ratha. I'm going to keep it on my head. So that matter is resolved. Now that is happening. That keeps happening, and every time it is there. And then probably when Bhagwan is saying that Ananya Bhakti, when you realize Ananya Bhakti, Bhagwan is explaining Ananya is when there is nothing other than me. Ananya, no other. It is ek jo ho jayega. So that ultimately so my personal experience in this is that this is again a sadhana. हर बार कुछ होता है, हर बार ऐसा होता है, और बार बार रिपीट होगा. ऐसा नहीं है ऐप खुलेगा, लेकिन वो ऐप बार बार the moment you do that, वो ऐप बंद हो जाएगा उस टाइम के लिए. And probably the stage will come where the mobile will be left. वो person will abandon, not person, the mobile will drop altogether, and ultimately it will. So probably that's also sadhana, because the vichara is happening simultaneously.
Yes.
When Ishwararpanam is happening, which by the grace of God, the vichara is happening. It's not that vichara is not happening. Vichara will not happen. Only Ishwararpanam, probably then also this app will keep coming back and all that. But if the vichara is happening, probably, as you're saying, the mobile will be totally gone.
Yes.
So this is my personal experience. It works. It always works.
Absolutely. No doubt.
So one more thing which I would like to add here is that like if you look at it the way it has been explained in because I have not read Bhagavad Gita in totality, but what I think is that when you reach to a stage where you are not able to handle, as Sonia ji said, then Bhagwan in Bhagavad Gita is himself saying that if it is you reach to that stage, leave it on to me. With Shraddha, leave it on to me, and then I will. But it is not that you on the first stage you leave it on to me. No, you try everything, and if after that if you can't handle it, जब भगवान अर्जुन को विराट रूप दिखाते हैं, then that is the point when Arjun understands and leaves on him कि okay, what he is saying, I will do that. because उसके till that time he's been arguing with him कि नहीं मैं कैसे कर सकता हूँ, it is not correct, this will be, and then Bhagwan shows him the Virat Roop and tells him that boss, please leave everything and do what I am trying to say you.
I know.
So this is where it is that yes, and then it is not that now connecting it to the mobile is that what I also feel at times, it is and it is a physical thing I am talking about is not having a mobile and having a mobile but not opening many apps. The second one is more difficult. That is bhakti yoga, that you are into everything but you still is away from so you can have the best of the mobile, but if you are not into that very limited screen time or very limited thing, you are not opening many apps, you are not searching bullshit things, that is more control on yourself.
So it's more Viveka Ban Vairagya, you can say, or Bhakti Ban Vairagya. Bhakti also has some kind of Viveka. So okay, there is an overlordship. So there is the Lord. So that is also an anchoring actually at one level. Whether Nirguna or Saguna. Saguna is also fine actually. But then there we resolve entire world into that. Out of the three things, observer, the ultimate cause and world. In Bhakti, we cross straight away samsara to an extent that we are just with the Lord. That's it. So that's where, when we are crossing samsara, when we are crossing the world, mobile is also dropped along with that actually. That's the energy we have there. The connect is so amazing actually there.
So then it's a direct connect.
The direct
don't need
connect.
a mobile.
Everything, exactly. Everything else becomes kind of, subservient, and then they become insignificant. Because entire samsara is dropped. There are only three things, right? Ourselves, world, the ultimate cause. Nitya Vastu Vekam, that one. When you anchor Nitya Vastu in a particular form and you just are with that form, world is gone actually. World doesn't exist at all to that person. That's how Meeraji was. For her, world was not there actually. Only Krishna was her world. That's it. So that's how it works actually. So bhakti is useful to that extent that you are just one with another person who cannot create any problem for you because he is the total source which one has already subscribed to and understood it to a larger extent. And after that, in a way, that small difference between oneself and the Lord can be erased. There is a chance to be erased. That's what there is a chance to erase that. That's what Shastra is saying, which naturally may not be occurring to us. To that extent, if you say Shastra, it's the same Lord who is in the form of Shastra who is helping us. So with Lord's grace only we can take that, and with Lord's grace only we will erase that also. So once erased, automatically you understand there is no difference between you and the Lord. So that's the next level.
So,
that's it.
So I think I would like to come back to Ashish's morning experience. So what he experienced there, and I think these are places like Vrindavan, or you go to say Barsana or Vrindavan, or you go to Mathura. These places, despite of all attachments what we have, but even for a short period, they bring you closer to bhakti. Your experience, this is something which you will experience there. The energy of that place is so high.
Yeah.
If you, I don't know, Ashish has gone there or not. There is one place where, which is a place where Krishna used to play with his friends, and that is there. So people will वहाँ पे उस मिट्टी के अंदर people लोट लगाते हैं, means they will play there. They will roll in that place just to feel that this is a place where Krishna has played. He used to play with his friends here, and that is where so you reach to a different level of bhakti there. And I think maybe once you come back and you fall into the same thing, but maybe for a short period, you will experience what is a difference, what is an energy of that place, what is Krishna is all about. Your that attachment to that location, and I think that is where I at times feel, I don't know whether I am right or wrong, but at times feel that these temples, the energy of that place brings you closer to the divine, and that is where, because of which those places are so important.
Of course, I
It
think
is not
they carry.
about the Vigraha itself, or not about but the energy of that place, the presence of divine there. That is what makes those places so special.
Agree. When it comes to worldly things, automatically, if there is a magnet, there is a magnetic field, and it gets weakened as and when the distance goes far away. So there is always a field and the core actually. So that's applicable as far as any material thing is concerned. I think this is where Krishna himself says that people should not get stuck with that pleasure. In that pleasure, though in that same song, what I was saying, I was still trying to get that pleasure out. As an Advaiti, I can bring that pleasure out because I can still adventure to say that, boss, I want to see you as an outside thing actually. I can still venture out because I know I can never be destroyed actually. That's a different thing. So poetically, I can still write. I can even imagine that actually. But if a person is not into that and they are still in Anya Bhakti kind of a thing, Krishna as other than oneself, that's where I think Lord Krishna is giving a clue saying that don't continue that all the time. Somewhere there has to be a time when you have to do an upasana kind of on me as none other than yourself. Mayicha ananya yogena bhakti vicharini. Ananya. Not as Anya, Ananya. So he says Ananya. That's more important actually. So he says that 20 values are mentioned actually, how to get to Vichara, how to get Adhikaratva. He says one of this value actually, Mayi Chananya Yogena Bhakti Ravya Vicharini. So that he says actually. So you, in a kind of bhakti, when you think as though you are just me or I am just you. Ananya Bhakti. So that he says this actually because he has to say this. The natural disposition of a person would be that, okay, he would like to go and see Dwaraka, be there because Krishna was there. He would like to just think, oh, fine, Rukmani ji was here, Krishna ji was here, this is where he lived. That definitely is nothing wrong to enjoy. But he is cautioning a person saying that don't get stuck there. You have to come to a level where you think you are none other than myself or I am none other than yourself. That he is saying very clearly actually in that particular thing. One has to reach that actually. That's where it's important. So all Shashtanga Namaskara finally will lead us to Chitta Shuddhi. Eventually, Vichara, one line, Aham Brahmasmi, automatically solves all the problem. The understanding of Aham Brahmasmi.
Because I can also say that I have been a regular to Vaishno Devi. And at Vaishno Devi also this is there that people will climb the entire 13 kilometers with Shashtang Dandvat.
Yes.
So it will take months for them to, and they also keep 108 pebbles with them.
Okay.
So they will, I will show that. So they will pick up one and keep. So every Shashtang Dandvat, they will do 108 times.
Okay.
And then next step, and then again 108 times.
Okay.
So that is what they will do, and it will take few months for them to reach to the main temple.
Okay. It's basically, if you ask me, it's basically making Annamaya and Pranamaya and in fact even Manomaya subservient to a greater goal. Simple. All that what we are doing is we are just making all this Pancha Kosha to be subservient to the real goal. Basically, it is a moksha sadhana. So for moksha, we are giving everything else to it. That's what we are doing. So when we are doing that, automatically that, that elevation in terms of getting into a different energy level comes in. That's where sattva is great actually. For example, if coal has to be converted into electricity, you can imagine what kind of force is involved. Break it, bring it to a level where you can bring it to a flash point, put it on boiler, burn it, and it has to burn completely. Once burnt, then it converts into heat, and then it is conveyed as energy finally.
Energy.
That process is an amazing process actually, where you have to let go of the Annamaya and Manomaya and Pranamaya. So the coal has to let its Annamaya go. It cannot transform into energy unless it allows it Annamaya to be subservient. If it wants to exactly hold all the electrons and everything together, it can never allow it to burn actually. It can never allow it to convert into energy. So that's where I think here, making every Panchakosha, all this Panchakosha subservient to moksha is very important. And that's where the jiva, the observer, the knower, the one who wants to know, the seeker, has to hold the reins. That's very important actually, and make everything else subservient. That's it. That's what is happening there actually.
Bhaskarji, here, you were talking about Meeraji, and so I just wanted to see when there is, जैसे हम भक्ति करते हैं, मीराबाई, उनका भक्ति के, उनको कृष्ण के अलावा कुछ नहीं था. अगर if I draw a parallel, for example, there is a mother. अब होता क्या है, जब बच्चा छोटा होता है, बच्चे के अलावा कुछ नहीं दिखता. I don't know, it might be different with different people, but as a mother, I felt like this. That, when the child is there, only the child is the focus. The housework, the job, or even the priorities of the husband or the rest of the family, everything becomes, as you're saying, subservient to that primary thing,
Correct.
I could not see beyond my child. And same, if it is there with Mirabai. So Mirabai, Krishna became that Vigraha or that Krishna Bhav, that Bhav became paramount. There was nothing other than that. Family, husband, society, everything, उन्हें ड्रॉप करना नहीं पड़ा. वो ड्रॉप होता चला गया क्योंकि उससे इतना प्रेम था. जैसे मुझे कुछ और ड्रॉप करना नहीं पड़ा, मुझे एफर्ट नहीं करना पड़ा कि मैं I will not pay attention to this particular thing, because that one thing became very, very paramount. Now with Ramakrishna Paramahansa also, similar thing was there. He was born with this, as what we have read, that he was born with this thing, that he would go into samadhi from a very young age and all that. But eventually with vichara, he reached a stage where Advait state, where he became one with Devi Ma. Otherwise, other than Ma, there was nothing else for him. But then with vichara, ultimately he came where he became Ma. कि भाई माँ ही है और कुछ नहीं है. So what I got from what when you said that it's like Mirabai, so it will not happen with bhakti. I don't have to. It will just happen. And then slight push of vichara and ananya. So bhakti is so beautiful. Sometimes I feel it is easiest.
Yeah, exactly. If one is in the disposition, it is the best actually. One is in the disposition. The only distance they have to travel is that ananyatva. That's all. That's the only distance they have to travel. They have already traveled samsara. They don't have to do any pilgrimage. They have already traveled samsara.
And bhakti is very beautiful, Bhaskarji, because I feel, because we are capable of that.
Yes.
When we are capable of loving a son, we are capable of loving husband or wife with that thing, it is very much possible that we are capable of it.
Yes.
So there won't be much effort जितना हमें और चीजों में लगाना पड़ता है, because the world is involved, as you are saying. Everywhere the world is involved. Here only two are involved, and then from two I become one, and only vichara is that push. So I find bhakti very beautiful. I mean, it gives the rasa, all the rasa you are having, and then you can go to Ananya easily.
I know. So Ashish has raised his hand. Ashish, you want to say something? Your voice is hazy.
Not.
It is like hearing Krishna ji from Vrindavan, such a distance. No, not that clear, Ashish. You have to come even closer to Krishna.
No, Maniji said no, we have to forget about mobile. So
Acha, you forgot mobile. Oh God, so nice here. Okay, so literal. You went away from mobile. Yeah, please share.
no, I was wearing this headphone. So, so I have one question. Not question, but rather than clarification. See, everyone recently I started getting some videos also. In that, Premanand Maharaj says just chant. So how the chanting is improving us and why it is so important?
Okay.
It's already 7:32. If you want to pass for the next session, that is okay. But chanting, because he said chant Radha Nam or any name. He's saying whatever you feel better, you just chant, continuously chant. And it is nothing but like your previous janm's karma, which will be giving you pain or something, pleasure or something. Once it is over, then you will feel the divine.
Yeah.
So how the chanting will help?
See, it's very simple. Manish, you want to say something, please?
No, it's a Nam Japa.
Nam Japa.
So, Nam Japa.
See, it's very simple, Ashish. If we say Ram, okay, Ramah Vigrahavan Dharmaha. So this is what it is. If Dharma is given a form, it will be Ram. So that's what it is. So all the time you have to conform to what is Dharma. And if at all Dharma has to be invoked in one word with maybe 2 letters, it is Ram. Simple. So such a huge concept, if it can be embedded and packaged into one simple sound, that sound is really auspicious. And if one wants to be on the path of Dharma, just chant Ram, automatically you will be on the path of Dharma. It is the easiest book you can carry. You don't need a huge book of, what you can say, law or constitution, how to follow law. Just chant Ram, you will be automatically on the path of Dharma. So basically, things are packaged and given in a little simple sound, and Purnatva is given in the form of a sound actually. If we can invoke that sound, you can always be close to that all the time. It's always better. That's what Bhakti does actually. When you are chanting, with every thought you are in that. Basically, we are what? We are our thoughts only. Every time we are thinking of anything, it is only thinking all the time we have actually. Or you are in Sushupti. That's the reason. That's the only thing. Even in dreaming, we are again thinking only. Or we are in Sushupti where there is nothing to be spoken about actually. There is nothing to be spoken about later also. To some extent, you can say, I was so relaxed, that's all. Without thoughts, I was so relaxed. That's the only thing you can do. But while in thoughts, be with the right thought, which will help you cross samsara. That's all. That's the only reason why chanting is given. It's a book which need not be put into security check. It is just one Ramanama, which you can just keep it into your, in your thought. You can just keep it Ram Ram. You don't need to carry Rama, and they will say, no. This book you cannot carry because we don't allow religious books to be carried in security check. All this will come. If you have a form, it's a problem. Simple have that such a subtle form. Ram, more than enough. Krishna, more than enough. Shiva, more than enough. So it is just a spirit, you just invoke in a form, keep that form with you. That's why Nama Japa helps. A simple thing is, in terms of, for example, if people don't have time to sit in contemplation for half an hour, so if they have only 1 minute, because they have to rush to another job, in that 1 minute, the best they can do to invoke, the best thing is just say Nama Japa. So if you ask me, Nama Japa as a system has evolved over a period of time, which is seen as more suited to this world in Kali Yuga, where people don't have time for good things. So if there is no time, for people for good things, they have to be given, as a instant thing, like instant food, T20. See, even forget alone anything else. Look at cricket. From 5 days, it came to 1 day to T20 now. Now I think our next generation will say, Kya yaar, why will you, waste 1.5 hours for one side to finish? Can't they finish in 5 minutes? Let us have only penalty goals kind of, the way it is in football, but let us have only 6 balls people play, and then this team, it may go to that level also. So if you say, Nama Japa is like T20, it has evolved over a period of time, and obviously people who know that, इनको इतने में तो पकड़ के कम से कम रखना चाहिए, they will do that because that is best to have. So obviously what you are saying is not, on a wrong thing. You are saying on a right thing actually, where you anchor that as the Nitya Vastu. Any Nama Japa you take, for you that is Nitya Vastu. Nitya Vastu Vekam Brahma Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. So one has to understand, when I am giving credence to Lord, I am not there. See, Nitya Vastu Vekam Brahma Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. Apart from the Nitya Vastu, everything else is Anitya. And I am saying Ram is Nitya Vastu, if I am Rama Bhakta. Okay, and when I am chanting Ram Ram, then what is my individuality? I am not there, na? It is Ram. So, over a period, you will have to understand the Aikya. So, Vichara will come eventually. That's what Nama Japa is all about. It's very simple. Ambikaji, I think, wanted to say something. Then I'll go to Sonia.
Yes, sir. At the time, I was asking one question that what is the difference between like bhakti and Advaitvad? Like in the bhakti, it seems we are a firm believer of idols, and in Advaitvad, we think that Brahm and Param Brahm, the Atma and Brahm, they are two things. I mean to say, what is the difference, basic difference between Bhakti Marg and
Okay. See, in Bhakti, it's not necessary we have to only, subscribe to an idol. So, even without an idol also, Bhakti can be there actually. And Bhakti can be just on either Om itself simply, or on any deity. It can be Saguna Upasana or a Nirguna Upasana. One of these, Upasana means Upasana. In Upasana, what happens is, we keep the ultimate force, the Nitya Vastu, as other than ourselves. All the time. So that's what Bhakti is. And if we remain all the time, see, that is for Upasana, that is okay. For Chitta Shuddhi, it is okay. So Advaita only says this. Yes, that's a starting point, but don't keep, that as the ultimate thing, and keep, that as the end itself. That's a starting point, but you have to end into Aikya. That ultimate thing, what you have placed as Nitya Vastu, has to culminate into yourself, your understanding as yourself actually. So first we start with saying Nitya Vastu Vekam Brahma Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. And then we are given an understanding saying Sarvam Khalvidam Brahmasi. All that is here is Brahman only. And then finally it is also said that Atma is Satchitananda. After all this understanding, finally one has to do that culmination of Aham Brahmasmi. So that has to come very clearly. And Prajnanam Brahma. Consciousness is Brahman only. Atma is I am Atma Brahma. This Atma is Brahman only. So all these are Mahavakyas. So if you put these Mahavakyas together, it's like an equation. If you see Sarvam Khalvidam Brahmasi, all that is here is Brahman only. Okay, that is one way of putting it. Second thing is Prajnanam Brahma. So Prajnanam Brahma is consciousness is Brahma. Who am I? I am consciousness. Job done. So I am Brahmasmi. Automatically it comes. Then I am Atma Brahma. That Atma is Brahma only. What is Atma? It is consciousnness. So if you see, put these all things and you see the corollary, Aham Brahma actually is the very clear status after which there is nothing actually. If you are already Brahman, you are already equated to Brahman, you are Brahman actually. After that there is no differentiation actually. So there is no Upasana after that actually. Upasana is until the time you have Anyatha thought. If it is not Anya, it is Ananya, then where is Upasana? It is just yourself. And that's where figuratively Ramakrishna Paramahamsa ji, he was putting har to his own self, and he used to also worship Sharda ji, and he used to put har on himself also. So each of them, they used to put mala on themselves and keep worshipping actually, because they're just depicting that actually. Even more in a pronounced way they were doing that. That's how it is.
So it means that the culmination of this bhakti path is Aham Brahmasmi.
It has to. Otherwise, see, one can enjoy, keep enjoying. But enjoying leads credence more to the mind, which is a very small thing. And the largest thing has to be claimed. Swarajya has to be claimed actually. So that is what we are thinking as the Lord himself. So the Lord, see, there is nothing wrong in being, in continuing in the cozy, kind of status of being with the Lord. But Lord being, in the moment Lord is there, automatically somewhere, this, what you can say, samsara will always be, is hibernated, right? Samsara is not closed. It's only hibernated. It will not take long for samsara to come back. It will not take long. There is always a chance for samsara to come back. That's how Vishwamitra was stuck with Ramba or Menaka, whosoever it is. That's how he was stuck. He was one with the Lord actually in terms of his meditative powers. And you can imagine what kind of power sage Vishwamitra would have had when he was invoking all his powers. So Maya, it will not take long time to just come in between you and the Lord actually. It will not take long time. When you are in dhyana, that's the time some servant maid will come, and you know that servant maid commands much more respect than the Lord also, because you will definitely go and open the door. Practical problem. Lord, 1 minute boss, you can wait actually. बर्तन धोने वाली तो practical issue है, 1 minute wait करो. Let me go and open. I'll come and start the mala later. So, Maya, very, very fast, it can come in between you and the Lord actually. So, the only best way for avoiding this maid problem, Maya problem, is to erase that boundary, become the Lord, then you oversee everyone else actually. There is nothing to oversee, but then you can oversee still those people who are stuck with the maid problem.
But sir, if we see it from the perspective of Lord, then the Lord is there in the maid also.
Of course, then you are already, that's what, you are already coming to Sarvam Khalvidam Brahmasi. Simple. If you have that idea, you are already into Sarvam Khalvidam Brahmasi. Eventually you should know Aham Brahmasmi, that's all. If you think maid is also the Lord, you have to first think you are also the Lord.
Yes sir, yes sir.
When you are also the Lord, where is Bhakti? You are all the Lord only, no? So you can rephrase it. There is a Bhakti on yourself. Simple. Because you are everything. So that is something we have to change. It's a status which is already available. You have to only claim it. See, the beauty here in Vedanta, like it is like an insurance company, 100% guaranteed. Normally insurance, you say mostly they will guarantee. They will have all these exceptions. Pre-existing illness, we don't cover. There are so many exceptions you will find in insurance. Vedanta is ultimate. You know why Vedanta is ultimate? It is not giving anything extra from its own pocket actually. It is only making the person realize, boss, 100 rupees तुम्हारा pocket में है. That 100 rupees, it is not bringing from anywhere else actually. It is saying 100 rupees तुम्हारा pocket में है, मैं सिर्फ दिखा रहा हूँ, ले लो, देख लो बस, realize. So it's only a realization that, oh, I have 100 rupees. That's it. Job done. It is saying you are that Brahman, yeah. You are not understanding, you are getting into a problem. To an extent, you will probably drive me also crazy. You are so potent. Vedanta is only saying that.
Sir, is ahankar and ego the same word? The synonymous?
It's all the same. Yes. One is English, one is Sanskrit, that's all.
I think that the basic problem is of ahankar, that is the ego. I think
limited identity.
With ego.
Limited identity is that actually. With that pride, when it comes, it's more, said as that ahankara, aham bhavaha. That's how it is. 1 minute. Someone else said raise hand.
Actually, I wanted to add
Yeah, please.
something.
Please.
It was specifically with Ashish ji. When Ashish ji asked about Nam Japa. And again here, when we were kids, I have seen all the elders most of the elders in our family, whether they are going for a bath or they are coming early morning when they were getting ready, they were always chanting, whatever Isht. Like if somebody is into with Narayan, so they would be Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, ya Narayan, ya Shiva. So they were always chanting. That was happening. And I saw that, amongst most of them were chanting, but few were there who were more, I should say, more mature. I will use the word mature rather than anything else. More mature than others. The chanting was, everybody was chanting all because it was told to us that, भगवान का नाम लेना चाहिए. तो सुबह सारे काम करते करते, खाना बनाते हुए या नहाते हुए या जाने के लिए या तैयार होते हुए, chanting was happening. Individual. But कुछ ज़्यादा mature थे, कुछ कम mature थे, उसमें भी. There was gradation amongst them also, and I'm saying mature is spiritually mature maybe, or you know that आध्यात्मिक उनका ज्यादा था. उससे मुझे ऐसा लगा हम ये कॉपी करते थे कि अच्छा बिकॉज हमारी मम्मी ऐसा नाम लेती तो हम भी ऐसा नाम लेते थे. छोटे से ऐसा, अच्छा गंगा जी में नहाने जा रहे हैं तो नाम ले रहे हैं, वो सब कर रहे हैं, ऐसा कर रहे थे. बट मुझे ऐसा लगता है इट इज लाइक कि देयर इज अ चाइल्ड सपोज, एंड इफ द चाइल्ड डजंट वांट टू टेक बाथ एट ऑल, तो वो रोज नहीं नहाएगा तो गंदा होता रहेगा, गंदा होता रहेगा, गंदा होता रहेगा. फिर एक दिन हम उसको समझाते हैं कि ठीक है तुम जो है नहाओ मत, सिर्फ मुंह धो लो, so you will look better or you will feel better. Probably he feels better, somebody compliments. अगले दिन हम कहते हैं तुम पंच स्नान कर लो, कौवा स्नान कर लो, you know, after हाथ पाँव धो लो, वो कर लो. And eventually we, you know, he likes it better because as he's growing, then अच्छे साफ कपड़े पहन लो, and then eventually one day when he takes bath and he's a cleaner person. Probably I think नाम जपा is something like that, which is like that. जो हम थोड़ा सा मुंह धो रहे हैं, थोड़ा सा हाथ पैर धो रहे हैं, then we are taking, तो चित्त शुद्धि is happening gradually probably.
Yeah.
थोड़ा थोड़ा करके. So मुझे लगता है नाम जप का इसलिए महात्मा है, इसलिए मुझे नाम जप बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि जब आप, कई बार ऐसा होता है कि आप बहुत परेशान हो, आप नाम जप करते हो, बट आपका विचार नाम पे नहीं होता, आपका थॉट इज इन द प्रॉब्लम इटसेल्फ, बट यू आर डूइंग नाम जपा because we have been told that, but the mind is there in the problem only. Verbally I might be saying Ram, but my vichara is not in that, but it helps. It is like that bathing only कि पहले फेस थोड़ा धो लो, फिर थोड़ा और आगे बढ़ो, फिर हाथ पैर धुलेंगे, फिर पूरा शरीर धुल जाएगा, फिर चित्त शुद्धि हो जाएगी, and then I will be अधिकारी for the ज्ञान. So मुझे नाम जप का महात्मा इसलिए लगता है कि ये बहुत इजी है, और इसीलिए शायद गुरु नानक देव जी ने या अपना ये रामकृष्ण, I mean anybody, for so many people they have emphasized on Harinam.
Yeah, at least it enables the person to be on the right track actually. It definitely helps. There's no doubt about it.
I think it brings that focus.
Yes, it does. There's no doubt about it.
Usually one more thing which I see at times, that if you have on a daily basis, if you see, there are times when there are difficult situations in front of you on a daily basis, and the first thing which comes out or the mind says is कि हे भगवान ये तो इसको, मतलब like I think it brings back that focus.
Yeah.
I am
agree.
I do it so what it brings is that it brings my entire focus energy to one point.
Yeah. It's a stress buster. And, we have this lightning arrestor. Any problem comes, just pass it through it actually. So, hey Krishna, this is your problem, it's not my problem. Simple. So we have this lightning arrestor because of that only, no? The moment it comes, it goes through the fastest path. And then it goes down, actually it doesn't affect the structure. So when we invoke the Lord's power in us can take that shock actually and pass it out easily, and it will not affect our structure. So it's very simple. So keep the lightning arrestor in you, the Lord, Nama Japa, simple, job is done. So basically if you ask me, it de-stresses, and a de-stressed mind is required for vichara. That's all.
Correct.
That's all. Superb. Nice discussions. We will chat Purnamada.
Interesting. Now it is becoming interesting.
Oh, very nice. Superb. That's how it should be. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, everybody.